It's that time of the year when we look at the incredible financial growth of Wrexham Football Club, and this year on the financial report, this does not disappoint, and it is going to blow a lot of people's minds watching this at home. Today we're going to be looking at the Wrexham financial report, which is set to be released in the upcoming days, of course, with the year ending the 30th of June 2024, and like I've just said, it is mesmerising. Before we get going in today's video, if you haven't clicked the red subscribe button already, please consider doing so. We're on the road to 27,000 subscribers now, so if you could get down there and click the red subscribe button if you haven't already, it'd be massively appreciated. Let's go for 550 likes, and of course, if you would like to support the channel further, it's the first link in the description down below. I cannot thank you enough to the people that have further supported. It genuinely means the world to me. And without further ado, let's get talking about some of the crazy numbers that we're about to read out. This financial report, of course, counts for the League 2 season for Wrexham Football Club, the 23-24 season. Like I said, with the year ending the 30th of June 2024, we had promotion to League 1. Another season of Welcome to Wrexham was aired. We had plenty of new sponsorships, and it is really showing on these numbers. So we're going to be starting off with the losses now at Wrexham Football Club. In the 2023 report, the losses were 5.113 million. Now in the 2024, they've dropped down to 2.729 million, and 824,000 of that was lost due to the bonuses triggered after promotion to League 1. Of course, we knew the club was losing a lot of money when we were in the National League, so I think taking that step up, of course, to the EFL with the better funding from TV rights, and of course we had the squad in place to definitely go back-to-back promotions from the National League to League 2 and League 2 to League 1, so we didn't really spend all too much on players. Of course, we had a couple here and there, but I mean, this number's drastically decreased from our time in non-league, and I think it's only going to be a positive. It might change this year in League 1, of course, more funding on players, and you know, it is a heavier price to pay, of course, if we are going to get promoted to the Championship, but I think the overall losses dropping nearly 50% is a massive bonus. The 15.02 million that was owed to Reynolds has been repaid, and Wrexham Holdings LLC now has 3 investors, of course the main 2 being Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, but what we can gather further from this, it is likely going to be the Allen family. Of course, they were appointed as new investors, or announced as new investors, at the football club a couple of months ago, so you know, after their arrival, it sort of makes sense that now they're the main investors alongside Ryan and Rob, and they've pumped a lot of money in already, so I think it's also likely to have contributed to that £15 million that has been repaid to Reynolds, and I think some of that, of course, has come from the investment from the Allen family. So this is where my mind has been completely blown. We're going to be talking about sponsorship now. Brace yourselves, because this is genuinely a crazy statistic. Last year, just cast your minds back, 2024, not even a year ago, I was saying that the sponsorship income at Wrexham Football Club on the 2023 financial report was 1.88 million. Now, before I read the 2024 number out, you might remember me saying in a few videos ago, I think the income in League 1 would have probably been about quadruple that 1.88 million. So I was expecting more, 8 to 10 million. In the 2024 financial report that you will see coming out in a few days, the sponsorship income has risen from 1.88 million to 13.18 million in the space of 12 months. A ridiculous spike, and like I said, I thought it was going to be around the 8 to 10 million, but to have a sponsorship income at the time as a League 2 club at around 13.2 million is genuinely ridiculous and has blown my mind completely. We've of course seen United Airlines become the front and shirt sponsor, HP have come in as sponsors, Stoke Cold Brew have got the naming rights to the famous racecourse ground, so there's obviously going to be a lot of income coming in from the sponsorships, and of course the sponsorship pricing at Wrexham Football Club is going to be worth a lot now with the exposure that the football club has gained, and you know, this number has significantly surged due to, you know, those companies I've just read out, and for a League 2 club that number is ludicrous, and I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if that's double, you know, the record for what was previously held for a League 2 club sponsorship income. So yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you think it would have been more? Do you think it would have been less? Think now that we're in League 1 this season, could this number rise even further to around 16-17 million come next season? It is just genuinely ridiculous, and when I first read the numbers that were released, I just couldn't believe it when I saw that. Talking on retail now, in 2023 the retail income was 3.43 million, and in 2024 it's 4.45 million, a number we didn't really, expect to see spike hugely. Of course, I think they'll have ordered a similar amount of shirts as last season, but it's a tidy £1 million rise overall. And speaking on the matchday revenue now, matchday revenue last season in the 2023 financial report was 3.12 million. This season it is 5.02 million. We expected a rise in, of course, the matchday revenue due to the extra 2,200 seats that were added at the end of 2024, of course, with the temporary stand being installed. So it was a number we expected to see rise. Is it worth, losing the money, putting the temporary stand up? We've seen it's nearly £2 million, has risen in income due to, of course, the temporary stand. So I think they'll be looking at this and they'll be thinking putting the temporary stand up at the end of the day and overall was a very good decision. I think overall there's a profit on this. Of course, we can see it's gone up by 2 million, but I don't think the club will have lost £2 million by installing it. So moving on now, this is why you all clicked on this video, and this is the figure you all want to hear. And I think you are going to be massively, massively surprised. The turnover, this is what everyone looks at when they look at financial reports. This is what everyone, at the football club is bothered about. Turnover at Wrexham Football Club last year in the 2023 financial report was 10.47 million. In 2024, as a League Two club, Wrexham Football Club recorded a record turnover of 26.72 million, an 155% increase from the previous 12 months of the football club, which is a record high in the club's 160-year history, and even further, it's believed to be a record for any club to have ever competed in the fourth tier, which again is just genuinely ridiculous. And if you need further context on this, I saw a tweet on Twitter. Wrexham Football Club's turnover in the 2024 season, bearing in mind we were a League Two club at the time, was higher than 7 Championship clubs and every single League One club. If this doesn't, just prove the draw Wrexham Football Club does have and the incredible rise of the football club, not only on the pitch but financially, then I'm just totally mind blown. And this is a newly promoted side as well we're talking about, fresh off the back of being a National League side for 15 years. We knew the draw Wrexham Football Club did have, but did we really expect it to be this big? Yeah, and like I said, it's a record for any club in the fourth tier, and I cannot see this number being replicated for years and years. It might even be decades until we see a League Two club record a turnover of nearly £30 million. And I think as well, for my worldwide viewers, and of course my viewers probably based around Wrexham, this is really going to interest you. Now, the geographical split between the turnover saw 52.1% was generated from the rest of the world, which was further proved to be North America, whilst the UK was 47.5%. So more of the club's income is coming from overseas, primarily North American in the UK, which again is just crazy to think. Last year the rest of the world was 24.6% and the UK was 74.8%. So it's fair to say it has changed drastically. And just reading some screenshots now further off this report, costs include payments made to Maximum Effort, More Better, and a contribution towards the costs of marketing the documentary Welcome to Wrexham, which helped to deliver the increased sponsorship revenue. A strategic decision was taken to engage both More Better Industries and Maximum Effort, companies connected with Rob and Ryan, to maximise these opportunities, as well as overseeing our partnerships that are US based. The ongoing success of Welcome to Wrexham is vital for maintaining and increasing the club's profile, and as such the club is making a marketing contribution via Wrexham Holdings LLC to achieve this, the result of which was the significant increase in the turnover in the report. And the number of employees increased to 255. In 2023 it was 199, and that includes 33 youth team and female players as a result of the changes made to how these players were registered and retained. So I mean, overall I'm just completely mind blown by everything that's happened at Wrexham Football Club. Like, I genuinely cannot get my head around how ridiculous this football club has grown, and we've got some further figures from previous seasons. Now, the final full season before the takeover was confirmed. In the 2018-19 season, most of my viewers probably wouldn't even have known of Wrexham back then, but this was the season when we reached the playoff semi-finals. We lost to Eastleigh in extra time, and I remember being sat there thinking, is this genuinely going to happen? Are Wrexham Football Club ever going to get out of this hell which was the National League, and to think a couple of years on we're in a race to get promotion to the Championship. It is what dreams are made of. And if we're looking at numbers wise, the turnover at the final season, of course, the 2018-19 was 4.1 million, and the sponsorship income was just 154,000. Now 5 years on, that number has risen by 8,406%. And I think, you've got to look at that. I think it was Ivor Williams at the time, Peter Gwyn's Potatoes, the companies that stood with Wrexham through thick and thin. And, it is a shame that they aren't involved in the club anymore. They're the companies that helped the club just continue to run as a football club. And it was a tricky time for the club, of course. The seasons running up until the takeover, I think we were struggling. Of course, we were fan-owned at the time, and there's only so much money that can be pushed into the football club, and we were doing well. Of course, Wrexham always had that pull because, our Football League status, our status in Europe. We were a big club, and we were a big club known in the National League, but it never quite clicked, and this takeover has genuinely just changed everything for Wrexham Football Club. And I think, we won't even have to look back at being in non-league for at least 20, 30 years, I'm hoping. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Did any of these numbers just completely surprise you? Did you expect more? Did you expect less from some of these numbers? Like I said, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. We've got a big one on Saturday against Exeter City. I did a preview for our 4 games coming up, so if you haven't checked that out, it is on the channel. So yeah, any support, of course, is massively appreciated. Subscriptions, likes on the video, and just comments. I really enjoy reading all the comments. And until then, I'll see you in another video. Take care, guys, and up the filthy rich Reds.
We're just going to be addressing the situation at Wrexham FC at the moment. Obviously, the league table where we are isn't very good at the minute, and we're just going to be talking about some stuff, what's going on there, and behind the scenes. It's not going to be one of our funny videos we usually make. And yeah, the first topic is the managers. Brian Hughes obviously started the season off with us, left 13 games, 13 games in, sitting 23rd in the league. 2 wins, 5 draws and 5 losses, which for me isn't good enough for a club as big as Wrexham's size, really. I was expecting us to be playoffs at this point, not 23rd in the league. It's been very, very disappointing. We started off really poor. We had Brian Hughes as the manager. He got the sack in September after the away loss at Fylde. We reappointed Dean Keats, and to be honest, nothing has really changed, has it? We've only picked up 11 wins all season in 37 games, and we're 1 point clear of relegation. It's just shocking, really. A club our size shouldn't be where we are now. Anything you want to add to that?
He was a good player, but for a club of Wrexham size, for point a manager with no experience is crazy.